when did you decide this is kind of the path I want to go on as far as English? Was that always your path? Is I want to teach? I want to...
teaching English as a second language? No, actually, I wanted to be a computer programmer. I wanted to make video games.
Okay.
So growing up, there was no Netflix, there was no streaming, right? Because it was with the 90s.
Yeah.
But there was Nintendo.
Yes.
So a Nintendo was gifted to me by my mother, and that often...
An Atari.
Yep. My sister had the Atari. I used it from her for a minute. But the Nintendo was, actually mine.
And in television.
In
Do you
television.
remember that?
I never had one, but I do know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're too young, but still.
I was just about to ask you, talking about like a Super Nintendo? We talking about Nintendo 64? What
No, those before those.
Before those. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it was like... what is that thing within television where you had... It was literally just like two walls or whatever, and then you just hit... The ball goes
like
really
the
slow.
Paddles, the ping pong.
Boom, boom. I don't know what it was. I just remember that as a kid. But anyway, go back. What were you saying? So you wanted to do like an Atari game or something like that?
Right. Since I grew up with Nintendo, I remember telling my mom, "Oh, I want to make video games," and she said, "Who makes video games? That's not a career. Be a teacher. Be something that you will be guaranteed to have a job."
Right.
So
you're like, Mom, but this is the wave of the future. Don't you know? Yeah.
I did. I changed my major because I did start it as an engineer. I switched over to be an English major, and I really didn't like English. But after taking my summer English 101 class, that professor, Dr. Bloom, like he gave me my first failing grade ever.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what is this? What's it? What?
I
what
never
is an
fail.
F?
Yeah.
And
have you met me? Yeah.
But since I had taken it was my first college class ever, and it was summer, we would have to see him every day. And we would just have to turn in a new essay every day.
Wow.
And so I saw my grade gradually increase from a failing grade up to an A.
Okay.
I didn't get an A in the class because of those initial grades.
Yeah.
But I remember how fun it was to work my way up, really learning how to write properly, versus what I had gotten in high school.
Yeah.
I think I got away with more things than I should have in high school academically, mainly because I tended to be the teacher's favorite.
Aw.
But
you gave her an apple every day?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I really
Said
appreciated
learning
in college how to write an essay. And I switched because of how writing became such a passion for me after that point. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, what resonated, what my mom said, become a teacher. I was like, oh, this seems like an easy path into teaching. So that's how I got into teaching.
God, I wish you would have been my kid. I'm thinking about, okay, if I would have suggested that to my son... no, you do not need to make video games. What I want you to do is learn to be a teacher. He would say, I think not.
It is a very different time period now.
I know, but I mean, that's amazing.
I mean, would you, from that perspective of having wanted to do that now, I mean, is it crazy to see, the fact that is a very legitimate path now?
Today? Yes, I think it's a very viable path. But... I also see where the gaming industry is today, and I think it wouldn't.
Yeah, either one would have been profitable. I think it just depends on your mindset.
Well, I was going to go the other route. It's very volatile. Most of the podcasts I listen to are tech related, because I'm very much into tech, and game companies keep getting shut down by the dozen.
Why?
Big layoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of layoffs happening because now the cost to make a video game has inflated so much that in order for them to be considered profitable, they need to sell a large amount of copies that is, in most games companies, unrealistic.
Yes.
Okay.
And on top of that, you have the AI problem. On top of that, you have
What's the AI problem?
Well, basically, if I'm creating a video game, I'm not going to hire him and give him benefits and give him a salary whenever I could just put
AI
it in.
can just do it?
Can generate a lot of the elements that not everything, but a lot of the things that you see on the screen, some of them can be generated in a much cheaper way, but that's not a good thing, obviously, in a lot of cases. And for the employment status, it's certainly not a good thing.
Yeah.
But then the industry also has an issue with microtransactions, the what am I looking for? The like the brand image of the gaming industry in general is very much not very good right now. Not to mention the literal layoffs.
Yeah.
And then what he was also talking about there was it's kind of like big movies right now. We're going through a lot of the same thing.
Right.
It costs so much to make a big movie that they have to make so much it's not realistic, especially in the long term, especially whenever like a place like A24, if you've ever heard of them, they can make
Have you heard of them?
yeah, it's a film production company that does much more like gritty, like ground level style stuff for a lot less.
Right.
They operate on cheaper budgets. Their movies feel better because they feel more real, and ultimately they can put out a quality film over and over again at that lower price versus like a Marvel movie that costs literally like $500 million or more, $1 billion to make. I mean, the next Avengers movie is going to be like $1 billion on cast alone.
Yeah, that's stupid. So the moral of that story is always listen to your mother.
So it is a good point that ultimately it probably was the right move in that way.
But I think it's also like for me, it was a culture thing. We always were taught to listen to our adults because they know better. Like I did feel some resentment over time, and I did. I'm glad I was able to speak with my mom and tell her, hey, I don't feel joy in the job that I do, and this is true right now. Like I'm good at it.
Right.
I'm very good at the job that I do, but it just doesn't bring the same level of joy that it used to.
Yeah.
And I want to say about 10 years back, I had that conversation with my mom. Because when I was, a senior, my mom and I would not see eye to eye. Like I would crash heads with her.
Mm-hmm. Is she a strong personality or?
No. Like it was me. I was the one that I found everything very, like I didn't find pleasure in anything in general. And eventually I did let her know, hey, this is the reason why I've been acting out. I finished a college degree. I got into a job, but I really don't like it. And it all had to do with, what you recommended. And she was able to say, oh, I didn't realize that I had that kind of effect on you, and I apologize. So, we hugged it out and whatnot.